All right, welcome. This is Enda here from bullwaves.org, obviously. And I'm just going to go through the markets as usual. I hope you're all well. And let us get into it, shall we? Interesting couple of days. I think it's worth recapping on what's happened this week so far, even though, it's actually just pre-market, I think, in the US right now, but we're well into the trade here in Europe. It's 10 past, coming up to 10 past 1. In the afternoon here. So I think we can attempt a recap with one more day left. Okay, here is euro dollar. I'm going to go into the FX markets first, and then we'll go from there. So the dollar crosses. Here's euro dollar. We have all along. This is the daily count here. All along, I've been working on this contraction triangle in a wave B in black there. We have a C wave top, and I've been calling for or tracking this D wave decline. I don't believe we're there yet. No, I think the count still requires a drop into C. I think we should probably head somewhere into about the 113 to 110 area to complete that. Now, I know that's been this B wave rally has been expected, but right now we've come so far that we just you can't help but speculate: is there something else going on here? But I'll deal with that. Like if we break that C wave top again, that 123.44, that's the only way that that will invalidate this triangle count, and then we'll probably move back to that flat correction count. That would involve an A wave up, B wave down, and then a rally in wave C, and you'd finish up somewhere around 129, 130 over the next few weeks or month or so. But anyway, for the moment, I'm still tracking a triangle, still expecting that we drop down into a C wave, and let's see if we get that started today. Let's go into the action over the last day or so. We'll see what that's brought us. Excuse me. So I've changed now to a double zigzag wave B. You can see that's the wave B blue in top there that I've been looking at. Here is the invalidation high, so 123.49. And if we break that, then it'll probably change that alternate count that I mentioned there a while ago. So we've got an A, B, and C, and it's a double zigzag, so 3 up, 3 across, 3 up again. There's nothing to report yet today that we've seen a turn in this market, but we're close to it. If it's not going to happen today, I think it could happen. We could see it tomorrow. So I want to see a break of 120.48 to confirm that wave one of wave C has commenced. But I think, that'll be wave one of C. So we'll see how that goes today. If we sell off again, there's every chance that we make it down towards that initial support there. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's move on to cable. Cable is the same thing. We're tracking this contracting triangle. It's a fourth wave in this scenario. If we go to the 4-hour chart here, we can see what's happening here. I've been looking for a while for this D wave, the same wave, different place in the structure, but the same scenario. Let's say 3 waves down into a wave D, and we've come so close to invalidating this week that it's worth considering the alternate, which would be, if I go back there to the daily, which would again be probably an expanded flat correction, and that would finish up somewhere around 145 to 147, depending on how the structure goes. I can't invalidate this triangle count yet, and it'll only go if we break that 143.81 high. I know we're close to that now, which does raise some concerns in my mind. But anyway, for the moment, Still expect some sort of a turnaround down into a D wave, and we'll see how that plays out over the next couple of days. We've come down off the high this week, reasonably impulsively. I suppose you could track that as a continuing continuing impulsive pattern, but today's trade should know nothing much has happened today. Just we've gone sideways, so it suggests it's probably a corrective move within. Maybe a corrective move within wave 1, and then we get a small lower high build tomorrow, and then we head lower again on Monday. We'll see how that tracks out. The rise into wave B here. So we have a wave A decline, a wave B decline, so that traced out in A, B, and C. Wave C here traced out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're coming down off that again. So we've filled a trend channel. We've got 3 waves up. We've got a B wave, possible B wave top, and we're moving down lower again. But we need some follow through. Need to push down at least below this kind of pivot level here. It's a pivot high for wave A, and it's a pivot low for wave 4. So that seems to be some sort of a maybe it's a concentration of stops, and maybe there's a concentration of activity around that level. I don't know, but it is interesting to see that almost to the pip it acted as resistance and as support. So we'll see how that goes. If we break through that level, I would like to see a 5 wave down, and we would suggest that wave 1 is underway then. Okay, let's get into dollar yen. The idea is that we have a 5th wave beginning. Now, I could be swinging towards this alternate count here for wave 1 in blue completing or already complete, and wave 2 already complete, and maybe we're heading higher into a 3rd wave. The reason I say that is the proportion, or let's say the relative size of this initial move up off this wave 4 low here is tending to favor the larger degree of count. So this could be possibly a 1, 2 at a larger degree there. I'll have to wait and see on that one. But so long as 107.45 holds, that one, let's say 107.50 at that wave 4 low, so long as that holds, then I think the bias is to the upside in dollar yen. Let's get into the hourly count here. Here you can actually, excuse me, sorry, I misspoke there. I should be moving that up another degree. Forgive me. I'll leave that as it is. But the alternate count would view this as a 1, 2 at a higher degree there. Let's see if I can mark that. Yeah, so that would be 1, 2 at a higher degree. Okay, so let's get into the main wave count here and the hourly chart. Got 5 waves up, 3 waves down in A, 3 waves up in B, and then possibly 3 waves down in C. So it could be a complex running flat maybe of some sort. You could possibly pull out 5 waves there, but it'd be a bit of a stretch. If that was 5 waves down into yesterday's low, then that would be a clean running flat correction. I like the spike off that high, or sorry, I like the spike that was created off that low. We came in at 108.57. So if we hold 108.57 today and we head higher again, that would suggest that wave 1 of 3 is underway. So that is let's say the outlook for the next couple of days. Let's see if this, let's say if Wednesday's low holds, then the bullish outlook is intact, and we can look towards a rally next week into a 3rd wave. Okay, here is the stock market. We have an initial decline in place, and we have an initial lower high in place. Are we building a head and shoulders pattern here? And that is the question. it's nice to, for once, turn from a, let's say, a kind of a wishful, uh, thoughtful transition to a downside to actually get a pattern to the downside, which is good. Um, it is nice to see that the pattern broke down out of the rising wedge, or the rising, the rising wedge within wave 5 in blue. We broke down out of that and we used it then as resistance. It's nice to see also on the 4-hour chart we have a clean 5 waves down, breaking through the both the 50 and the 200 MA, and then using the 50 as resistance and turning down again. We break the 200 MA again. Not quite sure if we are still building a second wave here, or if we have second wave complete and we're building initial decline into a third wave. That is yet to be decided. On the daily count here, you can see the price, let's say, throughout the rebound last year and the rally that happened last year, apart from a couple of occasions, the rally just dropped through the 50 MA and then rebounded back into a rally phase again. Dropped through the 50 MA, rebounded back into a rally. You can see it dropped through the 50 and rebound, drop to the 50, well, twice, and then rebound. So in terms of momentum, don't really have a long-term momentum signal here until we get a solid breakdown through that 50. And then, you know, should we start to see let's say an opposite momentum pattern build where we start using these MAs as resistance rather than, let's say, the support that has acted over the last year. We shall see on that front. There's every reason to believe that it should come, and quite soon. But until we get it, then I'm going to hold my tongue, let's say. Here's the short-term bearish pattern that I'm looking at. We have 5 waves down, so we have a 1, 2, an extended wave 3, 4, and 5. We came through the previous left-hand shoulder. We broke solidly through that, and then we rebounded, I think, in 3 waves. So we've got an initial spike up, decline, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 finish wave C. And then on Wednesday, well, I suppose you call it early Wednesday, and throughout yesterday's trade, we sold down quite nicely. And again, it looks quite impulsive. It looks like a 5-wave pattern, so it could be 1, 2, 3, maybe a triangle 4th wave, and then a 5th decline. Again, we broke through that left-hand shoulder here, so that comes in at about 33,750, let's say, and now we're rebounding to a further lower high. So the question is, are we tracing out a larger second wave? So this could be an A, B, and then we get a C wave up. So if that's the case, I think then we will switch to that alternate count where we view the action at 1 degree higher. I think that would probably suit quite well. So you can view the alternate count. Alternate count is more or less the same. It's just let's see if I can get rid of that. Yeah. Okay. The alternate count is the same. It's just at 1 degree higher, basically. So we've got an A, maybe an A, B, and C pattern underway. So maybe we're still building that right-hand shoulder. At the moment, the main count shows a 1, 2 pattern in place, and then we're moving into a lower degree 1, 2, and then we should head lower into a third of a third. If we do that, then next week is looking pretty interesting in terms of an acceleration to the downside, and maybe then we start to break those longer term, let's say, daily MAs. Maybe then we break solidly down below that 50 MA there on the daily count. Okay, but the hourly count is looking good. Let's see if we get a corrective lower high again today as the US market opens. We're pre-market now, and we're kind of just flat, let's say, on the session from last night. I'm I am favorable, I think, to this second wave scenario because it looks quite like a three-wave rally, a three-wave decline, and then we get some sort of let's say a C wave up to complete wave two. So we've got a 1-2 pattern in play, and then we head lower, maybe even by the end of Thursday's session. If that happens, I'll talk about that tonight on the website on tonight's update. Okay, so tentatively, I'm quite hopeful that we have finally got this turn in trend, and we've got a pattern building to the downside instead of a continuation to the upside. Yeah, I'll take that for now. So we'll see how that goes today, and obviously we'll be on top of it tonight in tonight's update. Okay, let's move on to gold. It's kind of been a push in gold for a while now. This B wave top has been, let's say, testing for the moment. It's been testing, and we will see whether this finally brings us to a close on a B wave rally. This week we have seen a break above a longer term trend channel. Let's say thrust above it and then a break back down below it. So this could be the filling of the larger trend channel in wave C, and then the filling of the larger wave channel. The trend channel in wave 5 in pink there. So we've got wave 5 in pink goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We touched the upper trend channel line. We broke back down, and to complete wave 5 in pink, we created a throw over in wave C, and then we break back down again. So this could be a very small head and shoulders pattern building here, and if it is, then we should see follow through to the downside today. And we should not see any further rally in wave C or B. Okay, and even in the alternate count, if this is a wave 1 high, and we should then move into a wave 2 correction, and we should, I think, break below 1800 again, probably down towards 1750 before we find support there. Okay, move on in crude oil. Crude oil came down. We had this long corrective pattern to the upside in over the last, nearly a month, is it? Yeah, we hit a low of 24th of March, and we topped out on the 18th of May. So over a month, like 6 weeks, just grinding sideways to the up. And now, again, we get a punch right down through those 4-hour MAs, so the 50 MA and the 200 MA. And the price just crashed right down through them, and now we're sitting below 200 at the moment. So we're building some sort of a similar pattern here, which happened off the high. So this could be quite a move lower building in crude oil, if I am correct here. Okay, so the hourly count, you can see 5 waves down, completing right now, I think. We got an initial spike lower, a rebound in wave 2, acceleration yesterday, a rebound in wave 4, and now want to see a break back below the wave 3 low, so 60, let's say a break of 62 again. We'll complete 5 waves down, and then we can see if we get a second wave corrective lower high. And if we see that, then I think the market will be a reasonable signal that the market is about to build down into a third wave again, coinciding with the stock market. Should I have to say that? Yes, I think I should, but you can see that the short-term pattern in the stock market and the short-term pattern in crude oil, very similar. And again, we have that initial, let's say if this is a top building across speculative markets, this the crude oil signal came first, as it did before, as it did in 2018, as it did in 2020. Crude oil signal came first, and then the stock market turned. We have crude oil turning first over a month ago, 6 weeks ago, and again turning into a lower, turning again this week to accelerate lower again. So it is interesting to see that the stock market has lagged it by about 4 to 5 weeks in terms of that recent top, and now turning again. So this is not, it's not a science, but it is interesting to note that these things have occurred before, and these signals are popping their head up again. So human psychology is not, it's never a mapping, a direct map of one occurrence on top of another, but it definitely echoes between different periods, and this is a bearish echo, I think, that we're seeing right here. Okay, so crude oil, want to see move down into a third wave beginning early next week once we get this 1-2 pattern out of the way. Okay, S&P, we have the 4-hour count here, the long-awaited turn into a wave 1 down, also maybe building here. We don't have the ending diagonal pattern, or do we? Forgive me. Yeah, we do, but I don't have the trend lines built as I do on the other one. I don't know why. Why don't I? I am behind the times there. Give me a second. Okay, that's, let's say, the upper channel of the wedge in wave 5, or the upper line of the wedge in wave 5 blue. We touched it, we skirted along it for a while, and then we have broken down impulsively. Again, on the 4-hour chart, firstly, I think maybe I'll go to this momentum signal that had been building for a while, let's say from the top in momentum on the 4-hour chart back in early April. So we topped out the 6th of April in RSI, and we topped out the 7th in MACD, and that was within wave C of 5. So this was an ABC up in wave 5. We topped out, let's say, at the acceleration peak in wave C of 5, which is pretty bog standard when you think about it. And we flatlined basically off that and created lower highs all the way along as the price continued higher for another month, 5 weeks actually. The price grinded higher for another month, and the momentum grinded lower for another month. And then we finally took a hit to the downside. That momentum had been building for a while. Off, I think, on the 4-hour chart, that is the highest momentum reading we had since early January. So April came in the highest. Early January came in, November. So that peak in April was the second highest below the November peak. And you will notice that that happened on a downslope all the way while the price was rising. So while we were rallying in price, we were actually losing momentum, interestingly enough. On the daily count, you can see the exact same thing happened since last March, since the low last March, and we had that initial massive burst off the low, and we created a momentum peak in June, on the 11th of June in MACD, basically at the high, I would say, of that wave 1 rally. That was wave 1 of 3. So the high of wave 1 of 3 of 5 created the highest MACD reading, and then we basically sidelined and to the downside ever since, topping out in a lower high within wave 5. And now we are actually turning back down lower again off a year-long rally. I think it's time to take note and take notice. 4-hour count is looking for a an acceleration lower. The hourly count, you can see that I've shown a wave 1 and 2 complete, just like the Dow, and a lower degree 1 and 2. Again, the same thing holds. Maybe we're creating a higher degree 3-wave correction in another second wave, maybe to create a larger flat pattern, possibly back up around 4,200 again. We shall see. I do like the decline that happened yesterday. It was quite an impulsive decline, and now we seem to be building a corrective lower high as the market opens over in the US right now. We seem to be just popping off the lows, but we're pretty flat from the close yesterday. What did we close at more or less yesterday? Yeah, we're pretty flat on the close from yesterday, even slightly down. Do we complete 3 waves up today in wave 2 and then accelerate into wave 3 on Friday? That would be ideal, I would say. So let's see if that happens. Stock markets, teetering, I would say, would be a good way to describe it. This B wave high in silver, moving on to the silver count here, this B wave high in silver has prolonged much longer than I thought it would, but I still believe it's a B wave high, and I still believe we will see a decline back into wave C to complete wave 2, and I think we will still break up below 21 again, probably even below 20. The action that has happened over the last couple of weeks has been a 3-wave rally in wave C of B. In wave B, and wave B has created a 3-wave rally up, but it's been, I think, a double zigzag. So we've got ABC up in A, ABC down in B, and then an ABC. You could parse this out into 535. It's possible, but it's marked as a flat here at the moment, so it's 335 to complete wave C. We've come down reasonably since yesterday and today. I don't know if we've got a 1-2 pattern complete yet, or is this still wave 1 building, because this could be a triangle here within a fourth wave of wave 1. I would like to see another decline to let's say break out below this lower trend channel line, even to break this previous wave B low here. So that would come in at 2670. I think if we break 2560 again, that's it. We're done. We're down into wave C, and I think that'll go all the way down towards 20 again. Okay, I know it's taken a long time for this to come, but it hasn't come yet, and I'm just still waiting. Bitcoin has been interesting. I haven't really commented much on Bitcoin. I've been just kind of tracking this count on a nightly basis over the last while. The 1-2 scenario kind of unfolded as an alternate count firstly, and then since we spiked lower out of it, we changed it to a full main wave count. So it's a possibility that we've got a 1-2, and then this acceleration over the last couple of weeks has been down into wave 3. We have a rebound happening. Let's see if that keeps below 47, and if it does, that'll be a 4th wave in place, and then we can head lower into wave 5. This could also be a larger kind of sideways move we see over the next couple of weeks in a 4th wave. We'll see if that does happen. It'll more likely be a 4th wave and not a turn up to a new rally. But it is interesting to see how much Bitcoin can take out so quickly. Fell $29,000 over the space of a week and a half, was it, more or less? Okay, so there is a possibility of a larger 5-wave pattern building down in Bitcoin, and if that's the case, then it's kind of a lookout below. Right now, I'm possibly looking at this scenario in Bitcoin. Now we've got a 1, 2, 3, and this would be wave 3. This is the 4-hour chart, by the way. So I've got 1, 2, 3, solid acceleration lower in wave 3, and now we've got a rebound. So this has yet to be decided whether this is a 4th wave yet, or do we get the inevitable diamond hands, people come back in again. I don't know where they're getting their funds from, but some people, they like the credit card. Okay, if you did buy on a credit card, this has been a bad week for you. Right, move on. FTSE and the DAX are more or less the same. The Nasdaq has been ahead of the trend. FTSE came down, possibly to a lower degree, 1-2 this week as well. Here's the DAX. Again, we came off a recent high and possibly impulsively down again. So still looking for a 1-2 pattern there. And the Nasdaq looks like we're building. You can make the argument off that recent high that we've got 3 waves down, unless we're building some sort of a triangle here. So then this would still be 1, 2, 3, triangle, fourth, and wave 5 down. The key here would be that wave 1 low, so that's 13, let's say 13,380. If it holds below 13,380, and we continue sideways, and then this will probably turn out to be a 4th wave correction. As you can see, it will probably be wave 4 somewhere, and then we'll head down into wave 5, and that'll be wave 1 down. And Nasdaq would be ahead of the trend. In that case, we'd have a larger kind of a second wave bounce and then get down again. Anyway, the idea, I think the overarching idea here this week is that we have some solid bearish patterns to work with here. I am the uber bear. I'm not a believer in this stock market at all. Long term, I'll be pretty bullish on gold, but we need, I think we need a lower. I think we need this correction to finish at a lower point, somewhere around 1650, before I go all in on this. But for the moment, I think if we do turn down into a bear market here, the initial first draft down into, or that waterfall moment where we kind of everything falls at the same time, will probably push the dollar up, and it'll probably push gold down. So we'll see how that goes. As I said, at the moment, it looks like we are turning the tables here, or turning the tide. It's kind of a look out below scenario. Okay, thank you all for watching. As I always say, God bless you all. Thanks for putting up with me, for mumbling along here, and thanks for everybody on the website. Thanks for being members and joining. It's been a real blessing. A blessing to me, and I hope it's a blessing to you. But more importantly, all of us are going to see the end of this era, this let's say this market era, this bull market era, and we'll turn into a bear market. This life is going to also come to an end, and you have to figure out where you're going to be and where you stand at the end of that. You know where my allegiances stand. I stand with King Jesus, and I hope that you can consider that too. Okay, have a great weekend. God bless you all. Shalom from a wet and rainy and stormy western coast of Ireland. My thoughts and prayers are with everybody over in Israel right now. I'm standing with you, and I'm praying for you. So God bless you all, guys, and I'll see you on Monday. This will probably be the weekend video, unless I have something major to report. Maybe something massive happens over the next couple of days, over the next session and a half. Okay, God bless. I'll see you Monday on the website, and I'll see you tonight, actually, on the website too. Okay, bye-bye.